Hi, and welcome to our presentation on Walt Disney Company for Strategic Management, Fall 2013. Our group is comprised of Brian Clare, Rebecca Craig, Jeff Glow, and Christina Orndorff. The corporate strategy of Disney is centered on creating a high-quality family content, exploiting technological innovations to make memorable experiences, and international expansion. Overall, Disney is employing both a growth and differentiation strategy. Walt Disney Company's portfolio consists of 5 major industries: media industry, parks and resorts, studio and entertainment, consumer products, and interactive media. The media industry. Threats to the media industry include social media and video and mobile devices, user-generated content that you would find on sites such as YouTube, and fragmentation or siloing, where various parts of the industry such as newsprint, traditional news media, television are operating individually rather than working together, and a shift from traditional media outlets such as newsprint and local television news to a more digital, online-based industry. Opportunities also include social media, and there is a chance that you can combine social media with traditional media to expand a company's footprint. Some interesting things regarding media are that the magazine industry is expected to continue to contract. Countries such as Brazil, Russia, India, and China were once small media markets, and they are expected to grow their media revenues by 22% within the next 6 years. In addition to that, consumer spending on media and entertainment is expected to increase at the rate of about 4.8% through 2007, primarily with digital purchases rather than physical sales. The parks and resorts industry. Threats to parks and resorts include high competition in the U.S. market, particularly from Bush Entertainment, a weakened economy, and also a high unemployment rate. Because of the expense of tickets, the weakened economy is considered a threat. Opportunities include high barriers to entry, technological advancements, threats of substitutes are minimal, and there is a niche market for theme parks and resorts, and although the ticket prices are relatively steep, people continue to want to attend. For example, there are about 400 amusement parks in the United States and 300 in Europe. They are a big money maker for the local economy, bringing in about $12 billion in revenues overall for the U.S., and to the local economy, they bring in about $57 million. In 2008, the European amusement park industry generated about $5.3 billion. A survey was done in 2001 to ask it was an American survey that was done, and 25% of Americans surveyed had visited an amusement park within the past 12 months, and 43% indicated they had planned to visit within the next 12 months. Along with the parks and resorts, the cruise line industry is included, and they have been growing year over year at a rate of about 7.2% since 1980. Studio entertainment. Threats to studio entertainment industry include high competition, weak economy, a high unemployment rate, social media, and that is primarily because one person's opinion can reach many, many consumers now. The increasing box office prices and the shorter time that films are spending in the box office, we also considered a threat. Opportunities include high barriers to entry. The technological advancements are improving the quality of films, low consumer bargaining power, the improved CGI and 3D capabilities go hand in hand with those technological advancements, but are still considered their own separate opportunity. And social media, again, is considered both a threat and opportunity. On this graph, you'll notice that the global box office sales for the US and Canada, which is the gray sections at the bottom, have remained stagnant from 2008 to 2012 at about 10%. The growth that we're seeing is from the international sales, and they are up over 32% over the past 5 years. The consumer products industry. Threats to the consumer products industry include technological changes which are affecting both how consumers shop, how companies are producing products, and also pricing is affected by that because consumers are much more price aware with their shopping. They're able to search on the internet to find where they're going to buy something rather than just buying it at the closest store. E-commerce has made a significant effect on consumer products and how retailers are selling. Some opportunities that we see are the high supplier power, the interactive media. The threat we found to interactive media were low barriers to entry. There were many opportunities, including technological advancements. The products are inexpensive for consumers in a weakened economy. Social media, and this is a growing market, which includes blogging, gaming, mass emails, social media sites. Long-term attractiveness of Disney's portfolio. The media industry we found to be attractive. The industry is expected to continue to grow at 18% over the next 5 years. Parks and resorts industry, although the ticket prices are increasing year after year, there is still a high demand for this type of family activity, so we have found that to be very attractive. Studio and motion picture industry, their growth is expected to remain relatively stagnant over the next 5 years, so we found that to be neither attractive nor unattractive. Consumer products is a highly competitive industry, and with a reduced household residual income, we found that to be a significant weakness, along with the growth of non-traditional channels of purchase. So we feel that the consumer products industry is an unattractive market. Interactive media industry is a very attractive market and is expected to grow 105% between 2013 and 2017. There are a large number of opportunities for growth due to the changing technology. And overall, their portfolio is considered attractive. I will now turn it over to Jeff for the next portion of our presentation.
Now I'm going to discuss some of the competitive strengths that Disney has for each of their business units. For Disney's media networks, a major strength is the presence of products or services that extend into 98% of U.S. households. Not everyone knows that Disney extends beyond just cartoons and animation, but has news, primetime, and sports shows on their networks. This is why they're able to reach so many people effectively. In addition to television, Disney also reaches households as well as automobiles with playtime on Sirius XM radio as well as the ever-popular iTunes. A competitive strength that Disney has over some of its rivals in the Parks and Resorts business unit is that they have a theme park on both the West Coast and the East Coast of the United States to serve the populations in the respective areas. The real lucky people are those that are in the Midwest who can easily go to either, or better yet, both parks each year. And even if you aren't in the United States, you can visit a Disney attraction in other countries of the world like China or France. And in addition to these wonderful attractions, another competitive strength for Disney is that they have the capital resources available to expand when necessary. For example, Disney recently set sail to 2 new cruise ships due to their existing fleet at full capacity with ships full of happy families. The Studio Entertainment Business Unit produces live action and animated movies as well as pay-per-view and DVD home entertainment. And over the last several years, Disney acquired Pixar and Marvel for the use of technology as well as characters. This alone is a huge advantage over competitors since considering just this past weekend, the Marvel movie Thor: The Dark Age set a Marvel record of $86 million in its opening weekend. The Consumer Products Business Unit includes Disney stores and businesses focused on merchandise licensing, children's books, and magazine publishing. And the publishing includes print format as well as electronic format that is viewed on many of today's mobile devices. Globally, there's 208 Disney stores in North America, 103 in Europe, and 46 in Japan. The last business unit is the Interactive Media Business Unit. This unit produces video games for multiple devices as well as Disney's website. And the competitive strength that Disney recently gained from this is the acquisition of Playdom, which creates online games for social networking. The 9-cell industry attractiveness and business strength matrix shows at a glance which of Disney's business units should have a priority. The size of the circle shows the current financial value of each business unit, and the blue shaded portion shows Disney's current market share. As you can see in general, the more market share, the larger the circle, and Parks and Resorts is Disney's leading business unit. But the Interactive Media Business Unit seems promising. Disney currently has a strong competitive position in the area that is getting more attractive as technology advances with a great amount of room for growth. Who knows, maybe in the future visits to the parks will just be through interactive media.
This section looks at strategic fit. How do Disney's businesses build off each other's successes? At Disney, branding is king. They leverage it to the max. Costs incurred to develop Mickey Mouse and Cinderella now continue to generate returns in the hotel and cruise ship business, gaming, video production, and of course, theme parks. They are gaining expertise in technology, but they have been a little bit behind there. So they will share it, there will be no borders, and they probably will catch up and maybe overtake competitors. Assets at Disney, and this comes from the very top, are deployed across all business lines to drive shareholder value. We're going to take a look at 3 examples. Of the 5 different business units, the 3 with the largest growth have been Parks and Resorts with 9%, Consumer Products 9%, and Interactive 26% growth. Now Interactive is on the smallest base of business with only 2% of revenues, so it's extraordinary, this kind of growth. And I think they're going to continue to do that in the future. Media networks, on the other hand, with 45% of the revenue, almost half, have only 5% increase in growth. So there's less attention there right now as they look at other areas, potentially interactive being the single largest opportunity in the future. Looking at Parks and Resorts, this is an example of strategic fit at work in China. There is a lot of buzz right now about the Disney Shanghai Park opening in 2015. Not so much knowledge of Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse and Cinderella in China, though. So that does present some problems for Disney. And how are they going to get their brand out there when their brand is not very familiar? They will be trying a lot of different strategies, but one, of course, is the familiar and iconic Cinderella Castle. This resort is going to be approximately the same size as the California resort. They will be pushing the look of the resort, and the retail side of the resort will really be a jumping off point for getting people familiar with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Donald Duck. There has been a failure in China before. A National Geographic photographer took these pictures several years ago, the long-lost Wonderland in China. What happened was it was supposed to be a Disney-like resort, and there were disputes with landowners, and the developers finally walked away. So this area is being reclaimed by the farmers again, and certainly China and Disney do not want a repeat of this kind of experience. How does strategic fit inform Disney's Shanghai plan? First, there are risks. Disney still has a long way to go before Mickey's famous ears are recognizable by every child and parent in China, as they are in the United States. Disney CEO Robert Iger addressed the issue during the company's fourth quarter call just last week. He cited the synergies of the Disney empire in addressing these risks. First of all, how to leverage media in China? It's a different ballgame. They're going to be relying more on mobile and online platforms than TV due to national restrictions. The company is planning to increase marketing once park attractions are open based on cultural or media interests, because Chinese culture is going to be wedded to Mickey, so they'll have to wait and make sure that the proper balance exists between the Chinese culture and the new Mickey. Retail. This is really going to help Disney build a buzz before the 2015 opening. Their first big store in China is going to be in Shanghai, and it's going to serve as a sort of quasi-visitor center to let people know more about the park itself. Once the park opens, they actually believe they'll have a significant halo effect on the brand. In other words, visiting the theme park will lead to more sales at the retail stores, just like happens now here in the United States, in Paris, in Hong Kong, and Tokyo. Disney's cruise line is probably a further out opportunity. Mr. Igor says that once Asia opens up to the family cruise business, of course, there's a lot of potential cruisers in China. Second example is the new Disney Fairy Tale collection. This strategic fit again draws on the very famous 5 princesses of Disney and ends up being a retail beautiful thing. A limited edition of 6,000 of each of these 5 couples globally. The doll set will retail for each couple $129.95. Of course, that'll be translated into apparel and home decor. So just another example of the strategic fit and sharing of assets between different business lines. Lastly, Disney Infinity. This is the latest gaming system. Again, Disney a little bit late to the party. But this Anthony Tioramina summarizes it beautifully. Disney Infinity is a beautiful experiment in the power of brand marketing. It takes the loose framework of Activision's Skylanders franchise and uses a large swath of the Disney Pixar library to bolster it. So instead of a family-friendly platforming with original creatures like Chop Chop or Drobot, players will be using more recognizable faces like Mr. Incredible or Captain Jack Sparrow. So with this background in strategic fit, we'll turn this over to the financial section.
An analysis of the financial performance of Disney goes a long way to support the case for increased investment and support for interactive media. In fact, Disney's own mission statement speaks to this when it claims it will allocate capital towards growth initiatives. While Disney's financial performance has been stellar over the past few years, interactive media is a clear weakness, but it shows definite growth over the last few quarters. Interactive media is the one strategic business unit at Disney that regularly posts operating losses. Most of the losses in the unit are attributable to the cost of heavy acquisition of both companies and intellectual property over the last few years. The lack of new gaming platforms has also compounded these operating losses by keeping sales growth at bay. Fiscal year 2013 started weak. Operating losses continued to mount in the interactive media unit. Fourth quarter 2013, however, saw the release of the new console game, Disney Infinity. Sales for Infinity were extremely strong. Disney Interactive sold over 1 million units in the fourth quarter alone. Fourth quarter sales more than doubled fourth quarter 2012 sales in general for the unit. For the fiscal year ended September, sales were up 26% year on year compared to 2012. Revenue for the year ended September 2013 eclipsed $1 billion. The revenue trend for Disney is generally positive. Dry periods, however, where there were no new products or no innovative products, have hurt, such as the fiscal year 2012, where sales were down 7% with a lack of new games coming to the market. As sales for 2013 went over $1 billion, the revenue outlook is looking great for interactive media, considering that we still have the 2013 holiday season, which will go towards fiscal year 2014. Cost containment is still a key issue for the interactive media unit. The division has not yet turned a profit even as sales grow, albeit anemically over the last few years. The costs related to acquisitions have outweighed any increased revenue benefit, but as those costs reduce and new products generate higher sales, the interactive media division should begin to realize a profit. The trend graph shows the triumphant march interactive media has towards even breaking even. They actually might turn a profit in 2014. Currently, Disney is not providing financial guidance or sales projections on any of its strategic business units, including interactive media. There are a number of key factors, however, that could signal strong sales going forward for the interactive media unit. Disney Infinity's huge rollout occurred in a traditionally slow quarter for new games. Interactive media should anticipate strong sales entering the 2013 holiday season. Disney and the interactive media group specifically should finally start to capitalize on investments in intellectual property from names like LucasArts and Marvel Entertainment. On the mobile gaming side, 2 new titles, one leveraging Star Wars and one leveraging Marvel's Avengers, will be released in the fiscal year 2014. Another possible boon to interactive media is the release of 2 next-generation platforms from PlayStation and Xbox. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One come out just before the 2013 holiday season, and Disney Interactive has already announced titles specifically designed for both platforms. One such title, Disney's Fantasia, will have its release coincide with the release of the Xbox One.